Welcome back to MLB Central. I will be asking the questions around these parts, Bob Costas. I would like a word with you, the best interviewer ever, no big deal. 10 questions. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Are you nervous?
A little.
Lights, please.
Oh, wow. This is like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, right?
Exactly. What did you say, Dero? He said lock it in, Bob. I'm sure he's fine.
I'm focused.
Baseball moment that still gives you chills when you think about it.
Kirk Gibson's home run, game 188 off Eckersley in the World Series. I was in the Dodger dugout, so I saw all of their reactions. Vin Scully's call on TV is a masterpiece, that moment.
Sights and sounds. Favorite player, past or present, to interview?
Ted Williams.
Why?
I got 2 lengthy interviews with Ted Williams, the lengthiest ones he's ever done, on radio and then on TV. The TV ones on the later show are all over YouTube. He was so forthcoming. And, you know, him talking about hitting is like a masterclass. It's like Jerry Seinfeld deconstructing a joke. He just knew how to explain it to a layman. Plus, he was so generous in his assessment of other players. He never had to gild the lily about himself. He was secure about his own place in the game, so he could give props to Musial, DiMaggio, Mantle, Mays. He was great with me.
What was your first question to him, Bob?
Are you the best hitter of all time?
And?
He said, well, I'm on the list.
Gosh. Favorite player growing up as a kid?
Mickey Mantle.
Yeah. One person, dead or alive, that you'd want to interview that you haven't already?
Jackie Robinson. Had he lived a full life, he died at just 53. He would have intersected with the beginning of my career at NBC. I almost certainly would have interviewed him, which would have been both informative and a joy. Sandy Koufax now, but I respect the fact that Sandy stays away from that. He once said to me, if I ever do it, I'll do it with you. And then I began to realize I'm at the front of a line that never moves.
Yeah, so it's not going to happen.
Might as well be in the back.
But you were number one.
But he was always very gentlemanly.
Favorite game or baseball moment you called during your baseball career and your broadcasting career?
The Sandberg game, because people still talk about it. I don't think it's necessarily my best broadcast. It was his signature game, and it meant a lot to him, and therefore it meant a lot to me.
Most iconic singular baseball call, not your own?
I would say it's Scully's call of the full 9th inning of Koufax's perfect game. If you sat down, the whole half inning, not just 2 and 2 to Harvey Keene, because it's just at another level. It's at another level of artistry. It takes craftsmanship and takes it to artistry. Every little brushstroke, every comma, if you could rewrite it, if you could write a script that had a month to do it, you couldn't improve on it. Now, you seldom hear the whole half inning. So if we're talking about a single call, you know, Jack Buck, go crazy, folks, go crazy. Russ Hodges, the Giants win the pennant, or Scully himself, it gets by Buckner. You know, it gets through Buckner, here comes Knight and the Mets win it. I mean, Scully checks all the boxes, but that half inning in 65 of Koufax's perfect game, that is the best sports broadcasting I have ever heard.
Scully just illustrated it better?
He painted a picture. The game was only on radio. He painted a picture that was art, not craft, art.
Favorite broadcast partner?
I had so many good ones. I'm not slighting anybody, so I'll just go to the funniest one. Easy. Euchre. Mr. Baseball.
What's one thing you remember about broadcasting with him?
How quick-witted he was. You know, he had his stories, sure, and I would tee him up for some of them because I knew what his kind of catalog was, but he was very, very quick-witted. This one didn't happen with me, but it happened with Al Michaels and Howard Cosell on ABC on a Monday night game. Cosell was saying something that made no sense, and Euchre gently disagreed, and Cosell said, "Euchre, you're awfully truculent tonight. You do know what truculent means, don't you?" And in the moment, Euchre says, "Of course I do, Howard. If you had a truck and I borrowed it, then that would be a truculent." Howard Cosell was...
said, "Don't you know?" I said, "No, I don't know."
Right. Howard Cosell was seldom flabbergasted. He was then.
So good.
Yep.
One musician that you need to see live?
Well, it's too late to see him live. I mean, Springsteen is an easy answer. Those, you know, kind of indefatigable 3- and 4-hour concerts. Little Richard, which is before your time. It overlaps mine. He's one of my favorite interviews ever on the later show I used to do on NBC. And there's YouTube stuff. Put in Little Richard, London, 1964. When he's doing Rip It Up and Good Golly, Miss Molly and Tutti Frutti, and all the rest of his catalog of songs, there was nobody that electric on stage. Not Elvis, not anybody from that era.
It's a statement, Bob Costas.
No, he was, and he wrote his own songs. Elvis didn't write his own songs. You know, Jerry Lee Lewis was electric too. I'm just talking about from that era. Nobody can compare to Little Richard.
The feeling you get when you randomly hear Round Ball Rock by John Tesh.
I'm 43 years old again, or 42 years old. Yeah, that was a wonderful era, the 90s, the NBA on NBC. And I think they're going to reprise some of that. Not the same announcers, but they'll certainly have Round Ball Rock. And I think they'll reprise that kind of dramatic narrative style that used to begin all the big games. And then the punctuation of it was da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Last one for you. Pick any mascot who gets to catch your ceremonial first pitch. Who would be top of mind?
Well, you know, I spent most of my adult life in St. Louis. My kids grew up as Cardinal fans, so it would be Fredberg from the mound at Busch Stadium.
There we go.
Now, are we going to do this? Okay, let me set this up. Right?
Okay.
The Yankees have never had a mascot. You know, George Steinbrenner said that's beneath the dignity of the Yankees. And they don't go with all the commercial changes that you make for uniforms, just the pinstripes and the road grays. Some point in the early 80s, for about a week, they had a mascot named Dandy. On the you know, Yankee, look, yes. Yankee Doodle Dandy, okay? So, on the pregame show, this is like 1982. I'm like 30 years old. This was part of the pregame show.
Hi, folks. I'm Dandy, the mascot of the New York Yankees, but like a lot of other high-priced stars around the Bronx these days, I haven't been getting all that much playing time. So, Mr. Steinbrenner, play me or trade me? Hey, folks, show business is my life.
Wow. Wow. That is...
Dandy.
I just realized I peaked in 1982.
I think they should have kept that.
My gosh, I've never seen that, and I did not expect that, and I did not know we were going to air that. That is awesome. Bob, there's broadcasters watching this. What's the greatest piece of advice you've ever been given that you could pass along to them?
You know, everyone says be yourself, but first you have to master the craft before you can let the little touches of personality come through. I always tell kids, get as well-rounded an education as you can. Read. That doesn't mean scrolling. It doesn't mean that you'll steal anybody else's stuff, but it increases your appreciation of language and how you can turn a phrase. The better read you are, the better you'll be as a communicator, and the better your frame of reference will be, which sometimes you can bring to bear on a sports broadcast.
I enjoyed this. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you. I did too.